And good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday. It is Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. At least it is, as I just said that. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. This is Things You Might Have Heard, and that was me in Echo because I had the preview on the other screen. Now it's gone. Now it's just you and I. We're going to give you 9 stories. Yeah, it was a hard time whittling them down today. So 9 stories of the top 15 stories you vetted over the past 30 so hours. We've got about 33 stories that were posted all together, and we got some good ones there. We're going to sneak in some because they just are just kind of relevant, and some we have to actually put in there. Bear with me for a second. That was weird. Okay, so let's get on with the show. As I say often, pretty much every single morning, this is a conversationproject.com is where you can find details on this. It's conversation.com. The Conversation Project, things you might not have heard, all those things right there are heard, found, and saw at the main website. Links to all the great things we do are there. And of course, you can watch the crawls underneath that also give information as well, like the partnerships page. See if you want to help us out. Hook us up so we can keep things going. Enough chit chat, enough random voices. Let's get to the news stories. Nick Cannon welcomes eighth child, legendary, that's the child's name, with model Tiesi. So Nick Cannon is now on child number 8. Nick Cannon now almost has a full basketball team, or has a full basketball team plus reserves to play at the family reunions for Nick Cannon with his, I believe, 6 different women that he's had given birth to. 1 set of twins at least, maybe 7. I lose count because it is Nick Cannon. It is 8 children. Now Nick Cannon also made news yesterday with some quips about female hygiene, which we're not going to get into, but we're going to talk about the scourge that is Nick Cannon, having kids all over the world. Now, this is not a knock against Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon apparently can pay for his kids. Nick Cannon has enough jobs that he can take care of his children and pay the crazy amount of money that you pay for when you're a celebrity and you have kids. And he's apparently very happy with these people. These aren't all, a whole bunch of trapped sort of things popping up in the Nick Cannon world. This is Nick Cannon wanting to have children with women that he is feeling strongly about at the moment. But 8 of them, with at least 6, maybe 7 different women. It's a lot of strong feelings for Nick Cannon. The guy that everybody thought, 20 years ago was just that cute little kid coming out of doing the great stuff, and now he's Nick Cannon. There you go. Raising Cane's owner purchases 50,000 Mega Millions lottery tickets for his employees. This was our teaser story for yesterday, and we're talking about it today because it was pretty relevant. You guys did vote it up as something conversational. Did it work? Well, not quite, because the Mega Millions jackpot is now $1.3 billion or so, because no one won the $870 million from yesterday. Will he do it again? Probably not, but it did raise awareness for a lot of things, including we'll bring Raising Cane's up again at the end of the program, believe it or not. But 50,000 tickets for basically the roughly 50,000 employees of Raising Cane's across the nation, splitting what they saw as 780 million at the time would have been about $18,000 per employee, which he would have split with them if he won yesterday. I don't think he's buying another 50,000 tickets, but the publicity made a big deal. And like I said, we're bringing Raising Cane's up again, coincidentally, later on in this broadcast. Brittney Griner's legal team argue cannabis has legitimate medical use. So the Brittney Griner legal team brought in the doctor's note excuse into the court in Russia, where she is facing trial a long time for having cannabis, having marijuana, having a illegal substance in Russia and traveling with it as if she were going to, sell it or do something with it. Now, the story as it's gone, she's already pleaded guilty to possessing the substance because she had it, and so that's not her saying I was doing something wrong, but she said, yes, this is my vape. So that's in the record. What has happened is They put in medical evidence, one literally notes from her doctors, and medical evidence that her use for medical for cannabis is for medical reason. It is for pain relief. She is an athlete. She has various pains. She's not smoking it to get high. She's not smoking it because she's wants to feel good. She's smoking it because of the actual properties of cannabis. Of course, that's not how they're seeing it over overseas. They're seeing it as she's smoking weed or whatever it is they're actually seeing. Actually, they're seeing a tall lesbian basketball player from the United States, and they're seeing a way to take some of the heat off of them, they being Russia, because, they're invading, sovereign nations. That's really what they're seeing. But the legal team for Brittney Griner is adding in the fact that she has legitimate uses for medical uses for pain as an athlete. And I'm not sure whether she has some sort of license here in the States where she lives, what's going on, but they're saying that her use of this is not for recreation. It's not just to smoke. It's because she actually uses it for pain relief as she is, an ultra athlete. We'll see how that plays out. Another ultra athlete who not quite in trouble yet, but you may see some cracks in the armor for his actual work ethic. Kyler Murray's mandatory film sessions and contract are a huge embarrassing red flag. Kyler Murray is a starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He is an outright beast. He is a man among men in the NFL. And his contract basically mandates he watch 4 hours of game film a week, which basically tells you that he's not one of the elites who sits and watches game film very often for his game. That he might be a bit lazy on the studies of the game, using his physical prowess and a little trickery as opposed to actually knowing some stuff and being prepared that way. This is a red flag. Embarrassing, maybe, maybe not, but this does show that this is a young guy doing it his way. Although his way does not seem to be working very well for the higher-ups in the organization, as his contract extension says, oh, by the way, you got to show up from the film room or you're losing money. There you go. Two from Russia, exactly from Russia, that aren't Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner needed her own thing, but two about Russia, if you will. Russia cuts gas deliveries to Europe via Nord Stream 1, and Ukraine declares Rand Paul, Tulsi Gabbard, other Americans as Russian propagandists. The first one first. A few days ago, I think it might have been Monday, or maybe it was late last week, we talked about the Nord Stream 1. Russia started piping in gas back to Europe about sometime this week, a few days ago, and so Europeans were back to getting Russian gas for their heating, for their cooling, for their operations and stuff. It was kind of a sketchy basis because what's going on. Now the Russians are cutting deliveries. They're not quite shutting down the pipeline, but they're slowing down the spigot going down to the European nations, the southern European nations, if you will. Now, what's happening? The major taker of Russian gas is Germany, who of course is siding with the NATO alliance, who is siding with Ukraine in their conflict there. We're seeing this as Russia trying to remind the Europeans that they need them, the Russians, and their gas, because it's going to get really, really, really cold in a few months. We may have record heat waves right now, but we're going to have regular cold and maybe colder cold coming soon. Ukraine declaring Rand Paul and Tulsi Gabbard and a few other folks as Russian propagandists. Tulsi Gabbard is in no way a surprise, because Hillary Clinton said that Tulsi Gabbard, although she was running for presidency of the United States as a Democrat, was essentially a Russian agent just put in there to kind of, mess things around. That's what she did. But the Ukrainians are basically stating that people like Rand Paul and Tulsi Gabbard, who have leanings that are very favorable towards Russia and Russian interests, are essentially propagandists for the Russians. Not that they're necessarily working for them. Everybody thinks Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian agent. Not that they're necessarily in the pocket, like being paid for, but the things that they are pushing are pro-Russia and basically not they are anti-Ukraine or not pro-Ukraine. And so in that cases, no matter who they're pushing against them in the war, and the things they're saying ain't helping them out at all. That's something that the Ukrainians are saying about them and various other sort of politician type folks that are there. Mayim, Bialik, and Jennings have been named permanent Jeopardy hosts. This is something that people do care about, but one thing that I didn't see a lot of in the mainstream stuff yesterday. I pulled this out of something that was seemingly random. We have to post things every 50 minutes, so it's a lot of posting of things that aren't going to have a chance. This is one that I figured people would see and catch up to, and it did. So we do know the kerfuffle about the former producer who named himself the new host of Jeopardy when it was all just a sham, having people come out there to attest for it, only to find out that Jennings, who everybody basically loves, and Mayim Bialik, who people love, but there's a little in that, is going there. So Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings are your permanent Jeopardy hosts. How they will split it up, basically how they did this season. They basically split, first half, second half, special events, things like that. So all you Jeopardy fans still watching Jeopardy, I get a chance to sort of see it every so often in passing. It's on the TV at work when I'm there late, and so I hear it and I go for a bit. I don't have time to really stop and watch Jeopardy these days, but glad to see it still going and glad to see that the hosts are there. Really wish that my man would have got a chance in there, but like you said, it was not a fair thing. LeVar Burton did not get a fair shot. No one actually got a fair shot to see if they could host Jeopardy. And man admits casting missing whites ballot for Trump because he assumed Dems were cheating. Click the link in the description and you can go deeper into the story. This is a little wild, but also not so much. Because he used basically the whole baseball theory that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and that everybody is cheating, he literally cast a ballot for his wife because he figured the Dems were cheating anyway, so why not do it for Trump in his case? It gets a bit deeper. You need to read the story and go deeper into that one, but yeah, it kind of happened. It did. Let's talk about our teaser story for today, or for tomorrow, if you will. We may talk about this if you deem this teasable, or talkable, or in the range to chat up. Chris Cuomo gets a new anchor gig at News Nation. Last night, Chris Cuomo did an interview exclusive on News Nation with Dan Abrams tonight, or whatever they call it, the Dan Abrams showgram, whatever it's called. Chris Cuomo did an hour-long interview that was taped early in the day. Dan Abrams, hyped it up a bit on his radio show on Sirius XM. I got in the car as he did the show there and heard the bits and pieces of it, talk about breaking news going forward. He gave a pretty good interview. I saw about the last 20 minutes of it, so I didn't see the first part of it. But the two pieces of news. Number one, he has a podcast, being Chris Cuomo, where he's more less down the middle, if you will, more opinionated. He says he's doing because he's trying to do something different because he's not a quote unquote straight up journalist anymore. I'm saying quote unquote. That's me saying that. And the other thing being that he's going to have a new show on News Nation in prime time coming up in the fall. And so it's going to be bumping up against Dan Abrams, so it's either the show before Dan Abrams or the show after, which is currently hosted by Ashley Banfield. No notice of which show was taking over, but the next show over, Banfield, which was hosted by a fill-in host, did a good 10-15 minutes on the Chris Cuomo news going forward. So maybe it's a good news for that time slot. And Ashley Banfield, who I like as a journalist, talking way too much on this one than I do for a teaser, but we'll talk deeper about Chris Cuomo coming into the anchor gig if you think he should be talked about tomorrow. That's all about jumping in on the feeds and being a part of voting it up with engagement. That's pretty simple. You see the feeds are scrolling right now at the bottom. So since you see that, you prepare yourself for this one. This is going to post in about 30-40 minutes or so. Not quite there yet, but in the queue. Let's go ahead and talk about keeping this thing alive and talk about Zenni Optical as a way to do that. You can help keep the Conversation Project and More Better Media rolling by just taking care of yourself. Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/Zenni. That is a affiliate link for Zenni Optical. When you click on that link and buy a pair of glasses, some of the best pairs of glasses you will ever own, it will cost you nothing extra. In fact, the great details and the discounts will be great for you. We get a small percentage as people bring you in the door. Zenni Optical has great frames for low prices. They have great lenses that are for low prices. They have all the lens technology that you're looking for without all the craziness that comes with prices and just weirdness, whatnot. You want blue blocking lenses, they got them. You want to have transitions type lenses, they got them. They have trifocals, bifocals, they have sports safety glasses. They've got them all, and they've got them that look awesome. I am a big fan, big guy for Zenni Optical. Been buying with them well before I pulled them in as a sponsor, and I love them immensely. So check them out. Check them out at thisisaconversationproject.com/Zinni, and you can see Zinni Optical can take good care of you as well. Let's talk about the websites of note going into them doing thisisaconversationproject.com, the main website, which has the home for the Conversation Project. You'll find out details about what we're doing now, what we're doing in the past, what we're going to do in the future, we hope, and links to all the things we're doing sort of in the ish. So you also have links for the partnerships page where you can find a way to partner up with us, including buying me a coffee. You can do that every day or just once in a while. You can also go and see the sponsorships page. All our sponsors, our main sponsors, are there. So you can click on their links and talk to them as well. Check it out at the Conversation Project's website. This is theconversationproject.com. Facebook.com and Twitter.com are homes for our feeds. On Facebook, This is a Conversation Project. On Twitter, th_conversation. The feeds are where we post a news story every 50 minutes, and we use the stats from Facebook and Twitter to show engagement. The more engagement you show on either platform, because we put them together and make them kind of a algorithm that makes them even and gives us one true score for engagement. At 5 a.m. we pull the scores, put them in a ranking, and on Tuesdays through Fridays we take the top 15 of stories out of about 30. Monday morning we take 30 out of about 90, so it's a big deal, big kerfuffle on Monday, but that's how that works going forward. Also on the TikTok at The Conversation Project, and YouTube at The Conversation Project. Check us out. Make sure you go to YouTube. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, because we need some help, to be honest. And on YouTube, we finally have that custom name, but we still want you on there. You can get this thing 5 days a week by subscribing and hitting notifications so that you get the notification at 5:50 what's going on. We're going to have a shout out today to Help in Monstrous Pain, who we're pretty sure is a bot, but popped in and we had a little chat back and forth on oddly enough, Rand Paul. I guess they saw the Brittney Griner thing, popped in on that one, and was popping in on Rand Paul being a Russian agent for a Russian propagandist, I should say. So say the Ukrainians. You can check that out if you're watching this on YouTube on the replays, because now the live chat replays are there. Check out the live chat with Help in Monstrous Pain. I'm pretty sure that hemp is a bot. So, July 27th birthdays, starting off with Norman Lear turning 100 years old today, the creator of great comedies from the 60s and 70s, including Good Times and Different Strokes and Maude, which is a spinoff of All in the Family and all those great things, and the Jeffersons. I don't know how I'm getting the Jeffersons. Norman Lear turning 100 years old today. Yes, he looks 100 years old. He looks all of 100 years, but we're still glad he's here. And Jimmy Kimmel, of course, doing the stuff with him, recreating some of the episodes on TV to kind of bring back to life to people who remember them and show newer generations how TV looked 40 years ago. It was a whole nother era. We're giving shout outs and love to the King of Kings. That's Triple H, 53 years old on the day, returning back to his job, his role in WWE after hiatus over some business kerfuffles and some health issues going on. But Triple H back in the saddle, running things at the WWE as of right now, hitting the big 5-3 today. Full actual born name, Paul Levesque. Of course, Hunter Hearst Helmsley as the name for he was given as the Connecticut snob, and of course turned into Triple H. And Maya Rudolph, happy birthday to Maya Rudolph, the comic genius, turning 50 years old today. Chicken Finger Day is the day I told you we'd bring up Raising Cane's again. Chicken Finger Day is a day that you celebrate chicken fingers. I'm not sure if Raising Cane's actually had any work in doing this, but it's a pretty good way for them to promote themselves. If they would have won, the employees would have won the Mega Millions on Chicken Finger Day. That would have worked out pretty gosh darn well. It didn't quite work out that well. Like I said, I don't think they're buying another 50,000 tickets. I don't think he's going to split $1 billion with the employees. Research found that stringless 4-second workouts throughout the day are good for you. I'm not sure where this research is. This was a quick blurb. We're doing a lot of stuff, so we want to make sure we had some quick things in here. But this is one that tells you that it's not so bad to just drop and do a couple push-ups here or there, do some jumping jacks all day long, because they do have some benefit for you. Are you getting six-pack abs anytime soon? No. But if you just want to kind of take a quick moment to do some stretches, do a couple lunges here or there while nobody's looking, I'm one, I ain't judging, and two, I'm telling you because research says it will help you out in the very long run. Wednesday, July 27, 2022 is the date as I speak at this moment. Thank you so much for being a part of Things You Might Have Heard for today. Make sure you are following us on YouTube and subscribing and hitting notifications. Following us on the TikTok, both at The Conversation Project, and doing what you can to keep things going. Visit our sponsors to keep things going. Visit our partnership page and see if there's a way you want to hook up with us to do stuff better. And drop a line in the chat. You will get your shout outs just like Hemp, or as it is, Help in Monstrous Pain, who we're sure is a bot, and my wife, Christina with a K, who was chatting in on the YouTube and not the Facebook, but I'm pretty sure is also not a bot. But you know, sometimes these things get past you. Make sure you stay hydrated. Here it is. Stay on task and stay limber. We need you here all day long, all week long, all forever long, because of the great things going on. This has been a trying week as I've lost a very good friend this week, so I've been dealing with that, plus all the other trials have been going on. And so this is a case where you have to remind people that say you love them, say you like them, say less if you hate them, because you never know when the last time is going to be to have a last time. And when it does, it really is the last time. But hopefully, this is not our last time. We'll be back tomorrow. We're already posting stories for you to get into, so go ahead and engage, as Jean-Luc Picard would say. And we'll talk about some stories tomorrow morning for the Thursday morning edition, July 28th edition of Things You, that is you, might not have heard.